chance and all unwinnable bets. I'm playing a game who is won by regret. I like that it's haunted by chance of a fall. The people who know you don't know you at all. You're a set. A whole bit of a witness for losing. If you can't just love the truth, then you'll be told when a single mistake gets around that the man you built up will start crumbling down. Sometimes I realize that love is hate and honest lies. Sometimes you will find that world you're living in is in disguise.
Hello, everyone. My name is Callon 4968. I'm here live on the DSC-CAST podcast. Right now, I'm currently deafened on Discord, and I will undeafen here in a minute. But I want to go ahead and take this time to explain what's going on. Let me pause share move right here. I'll explain what's going on. Today's podcast is running a little late because Dad had to go do laundry. Tony, unfortunately, lost track of time, and, well, I was the only one ready, per usual. That's nothing on them. I'm glad you're here to join the podcast. Dad will probably be on here shortly. Anyways, let me go ahead and transition over here. Keep the music going while I turn it down a little bit more. So we got that. I mean, I'm deafening on Discord, so I can hear Tony. Hey, can you hear me? Tony, you there? There we are. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of the DSC-CAST podcast. Currently brought to you by moving stuff around in the bedroom.
I do apologize. I'm just trying to organize things around.
All good. Here real quick on Xbox. Well, again, welcome to DSC-CAST podcast, episode 8. Today, I am joined by, currently, lan626, aka @NerdTony, _Tony on Twitter. One of my oldest friends, and one of the coolest people I've ever met, who is very opinionated on his sci-fi, so, which will be excellent for today's stream.
Stingy when it comes to my stuff.
I know Dad will be here shortly. He said that he tried to get in here before 4. That's good. That's all him. Let me get some of the formalities out of the way. First of all, I'm sorry for the lack of streams in the last couple of weeks. That's primarily been because of COVID and power stuff here in Texas, and February being February, and just all around bullshit and stuff in the background. But the good news is I have been planning all week. I have been doing stuff in Minecraft. I've been playing all week because tonight, finally, we have the biggest DSC Hunger Games ever. We have 6 people, 5 people confirmed to be a part of the Hunger Games, and 6 maybe joining. And that's not even including our 2 moderators, Spooky and Daniel. So, we're gonna have 8 people in the chat, so that's gonna be fun.
Quick note just to let you know.
Yeah?
I still gotta move some things around to finally make space for my system in my game room. But it should be done before we have to start the thing.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, like I said, the podcast is only gonna be an hour, 15 minutes long officially, and then I'll give you an hour and a half to do whatever you gotta do in there. So, speaking of which, I gotta start the countdown timer. Podcast officially begins now. There it goes.
Just to let you guys know, greetings everyone.
Hey, you cut out.
Tony.
You cut out.
It's terrible. This thing occasionally cuts out. I do apologize. I've been trying my best to find a better headphone
$50. It's not bad for a mic.
Oh, I have a mic right now. Currently, I have someone using it because they need to borrow it for the
Mm-hmm.
but I'll be.
Yeah, well.
I've also been trying to go and take apart some keyboards that I've recently got and clean those out and possibly sell a few or donating them. But I've been trying to get this equipment and make it nice and almost like new.
Sweetness.
It's weird. Because none of the viewers know me personally, but I personally am a slob. So
Oh my god, he admits it.
But when it comes to certain things, I am a weird.
You're set up.
Yeah. Essentially, being a clean freak around my setup, I will clean each and every single thing if need be. I will take things apart if need be. I will put them back together to clean them up. It's a weird habit of mine. I should technically be going and being that way with everything. I'm just terrible at it. I'm trying to motivate myself to do it. But it is what it is. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk about what? Sci-fi movies, games, just sci-fi in general?
Sci-fi in general, I guess. The whole topic came up last night. I don't know while I was on Twitter and everything. I saw that there was a whole Twitter thread of, like, the best, everyone's top 5 science fiction films of all time, and it's like, okay. And everything that first came to mind was everything from Star Wars, Transformers, and Marvel. I'm like, those are great science fiction films, but there's so many more. So I'm gonna lay the ground rules for this podcast, this episode of the podcast. The ground rules are: we cannot bring up Star Wars as a primary film in that list. And if you do, you can only bring up one film in that entire series. Okay, since we're probably going to end up talking about Star Wars anyway, let's just go ahead and say one film from any major franchise. So, like, say, if you want to bring in, I don't know, The Wrath of Khan. That's your one movie in the entire Star Trek franchise. If you want to say Empire Strikes Back. Damn it. Well, no, one per person. Daniel. Yeah.
So, Wrath of Khan, just watching that movie with my dad when he saw it on TV, I was surprised. Because, one, I wasn't expecting to see that character come into the story of Star Trek. So I used to watch reruns of Star Trek constantly with my dad
Right.
on TV, and just seeing basically this one character and his entire, well, not his entire, but basically what was left of him. Told me that Khan was the character that I was just gone and loved from the entire franchise.
Right.
Like, I wasn't expecting to sit there and watch the entire movie and be like,
Wow, that was a great movie.
just drives everything and makes it absolutely fantastic compared to what I've seen on TV shows, reruns.
Just a sec. Right. So, yeah, we've mentioned Wrath of Khan. Right, I will rightfully say that. It's not on my personal top list, but that's great. I'm always going to bring it up as an example. For the record, as far as this goes, hold on, I got a message on Discord. You mentioned, Hey, Daniel. Hey, Tony, did you know? Did you know I'm in Discord? I know I'm live. Thank you very much.
Just didn't get the same notification saying, "Hey, you're live."
Alright, so,
We have Discord when it comes to that.
the ground rules for... the ground rules for this is that if you pick a movie from a franchise, you can only pick one movie from that franchise. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So Tony, I'm knowing your opinions on films. Go ahead and give us what you want. Give us what you got.
Well, I'm going to start off not with a film franchise, actually, because I believe it was a book before. I need to double check real quick, but I believe the book was called A Sound of Thunder. I believe that's the right one. Yeah. It's basically a story about I don't want to be wrong on this. I have to look it up. I'm sorry, but I remember reading about this back in high school for the first time ever. And personally, I have an overactive imagination, so it felt
Don't we
like
all?
I was among everything. So basically, okay, yeah. Basically, there's people who are set far into the future, year 2055. Highly doubt it's going to happen in our actual reality, where time travel will be possible. Even if it is, I'll probably be an old geezer by then, or possibly have passed away.
Right.
But basically, in the future, they have time travel, and they have specific things to do with this time travel. It's not specifically for traveling to time to go and mess with the whole stuff. It's basically used for a safari where people go back in time and they can hunt only one specific dinosaur. And it's not a constant thing where they all go back at the exact same time and hunt the exact same dinosaur over and over and over. No. You can only pick one out of the entire species and go back in time and hunt that animal. And it's a group, and it's really expensive to do so.
Right. I think I remember reading this story back in middle school or something.
And basically, the whole gist of it is you don't mess with anything in the time. You stay on this path, and everything shall be fine.
Isn't this story where the butterfly effect came from?
Yes, that's actually. I don't know if it's specifically what was the cause for the butterfly effect.
The inspiration.
Inspiration for it, but in the actual short story, a butterfly lands somewhere, and someone accidentally steps off the trail. I believe it's the main character.
Right.
He accidentally steps on it and kills it underneath his food.
Right.
But everything seems somewhat fine when they go back in time.
Except for one major difference.
Yeah, it's a huge major difference. Just reading that story was just like...
It makes you think.
You wouldn't expect that thing, but if time travel was exactly a thing that we could do currently, there's tons of things that you'd have to worry about constantly. You have to make sure nothing lands on you. You have to make sure you have like a special suit where if you get something on you, it has to be disposed of right away on some kind of platform that travels with you guys to make sure that nothing comes with you and
Right.
nothing goes wrong.
Right.
And I've heard tons of people wish they had the ability to travel back in time, go back at certain points in their life and whatnot, and change something. And you have to think about it. If you go, it was a short film that they did. I don't think it was maybe an hour and a half long.
I don't think you got that. Oh, A Sound of Thunder by
Yeah.
Ray Bradbury. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a sound of thunder, not the sound of thunder or anything else without the letter A. If you drop the A, you don't get the correct story.
Right. I
Sort
see it
of
now.
a sound of thunder.
I see it now.
Yeah. And just going through that story makes anyone and everyone think, and they should think, if time travel is an actual possible thing, there's going to be thousands upon millions of repercussions if you mess one thing up in the past. Which, with the fact that they said that there's a specific trail that they have to go between constantly, no matter what, it wasn't like, okay, here's the trail, we have the ability to change the angle of the trail to go this way, to that way, or whatever. No, you have to stick on this one long trail, and you have to follow it, and it's usually right near the creature that they have to hunt. That's what the hunt and whatnot. But the thing is, you can't go and take that animal with you.
Right.
Basically, you kill it, and if I remember correctly, either you got a picture with it or something. I don't recall. It's been ages since I've read it, but basically,
Okay, so reading.
kill it and then go back to the present.
Right. Reading some of the plot points from. I remember that. I don't want to spoil too much of the story because, I mean, it really is a great short story and everything. But it's like, they killed a specific dinosaur because it was going to die anyway. So there's no harm, no foul in the timeline. But they still have to, like, go in to the body, grab the bullets, and watch for the step because there's a specific path and all that, like you were saying. For the record, I was thinking more, let's talk about movies and stuff, but you know what, you brought up a really good short story I haven't read in a long time, so it's... So, I have stories that I really enjoy, games that I really enjoy when it comes to sci-fi, TV shows, not just movies. Because, one, if you do just movies, there are plenty out there, but people probably just go and say the exact same one, and I don't want them to feel like, right, that's fine. Well, how about we just run down our top 5 favorite sci-fi films? Each of us. So, you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
after you're the host anyways.
Alright, hold on, let me bring it. Alright, so. My list. First and foremost. Because, literally, Alien. A 1979 film directed by Ridley Scott. Okay, so my second one, fittingly, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Alright. Third one, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Wait, is it Close Encounters? Is, John Carpenter's The Thing. And last but not least, Christopher Nolan's Interstellar.
A good one as well. Those are fantastic movies.
I didn't want to go in. First of all, I didn't want to see. I couldn't really think of too many more of the recent sci-fi films. Because I'm sure there's plenty. Like, throw in Jurassic World. I mean, it's a good movie. Throw in 10 Cloverfield Lane. That's a great movie. Suspense sci-fi film. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, you know? So many of those recent movies are great. But I also want to acknowledge that some of the best science fiction films of all time, they've tried remaking it doing it again once, and they couldn't do it successfully because of the scale of, just the scale of the special effects in the original movie John Carpenter did. Same thing with Alien. nowadays you can't replicate the fear of the alien. Because
Was just over the top with their imagination and seeing them build those special effects props.
mm-hmm.
Just, and you can find behind the scenes kind of stuff online.
Oh yeah.
Or anywhere else. So it's great to sit there and be like, so that's how that was made. This is how it was. Mind blowing.
See, the thing with me is that I am notorious for liking, well, what the public considers terrible movies. Like, I mean, I'm notorious for liking all the Transformer movies, and like, hell, I even like Sharknado, the first one, but after that, it just went to shit. But, all in all is that, again, I just want, you can't make the Alien movie again. It's been death, because it really hasn't. Because after James Cameron's sequel Aliens, I mean, those first two movies were amazing. Alien 3, the studio got involved. Alien 4, Joss Whedon got involved. And Lord knows, but, I mean, Joss Whedon's been great in some sci-fi franchises, but in others he hasn't. So, but in any case, I mean, those are my favorite movies. I love the. I mean, Terminator is a gigantic franchise to begin with. I mean, you got the four. I mean, you got the 6 movies in the franchise, as well as the anime that they're currently working on, as well as the ride and the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Which, so, the timeline is befuddled with bullshit. So, there's only one movie in that entire franchise that is worth mentioning, besides the first one, and that's Terminator 2. That's the one thing that I've always known, is that James Cameron cannot make a terrible sequel. Because, I mean, he made a sequel to Alien, he made a sequel to Terminator, you know? And he's making like 4 or 5 sequels to Avatar. Which I'm excited to see myself, despite not really liking Avatar to begin with.
Yeah.
But I will throw in a couple more honorable mentions in my list, like The Matrix and Back to the Future. But for the most part, those are my top 5 science fiction films. One more time, just so people understand. Top 5 science fiction films of all time. Alien, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Interstellar, and John Carpenter's The Thing. Alright, tell me what you got.
Well, you took another one of my favorite movies.
What do we got, Terminator?
There's The Thing.
Oh, really?
Actually 2 of them. I did like Terminator 2 Judgment Day a whole lot, but John Carpenter's The Thing.
I mean, it's such a...
Years. I have to admit this. It took me years to go and actually see that without shitting my pants.
It's a great horror movie.
Like, I was a kid, and my dad had it on TV once, and he had this beautiful sound system, and it was just like, oh my god, I don't want to be anywhere near whatever the hell is going on.
The thing... Okay.
Door.
No pun intended. The thing that made that movie scary was how practical all the effects were. Because the way they did the effects was amazing. But on top of all that, it's practical. It feels real. Like what you're watching, you know it feels real. That's the one thing that absolutely sucked about the new Thing movie. The one that came out in like 2010. Which I thought was a great story, but it was a terrible movie. Because of all the IGN, CGI, and all that. It's like, element, or whatever. It's like, don't get me wrong. Some, nowadays, those Transformers look. for the most part. Look at, like, Planet of the Apes and all the Marvel movies. They make it look real. Despite the fact that we know for a fact it isn't, they make it look real. But they couldn't do that for the Thing movie, which, the new one at least, which made me so sad. Go ahead.
So, if I'm going to list off my favorite sci-fi films, for me, number one, my issue is it's tied between a few films. A lot of people didn't like this one film, and I'm just going to go ahead and admit it. I love it. Some people absolutely hate it. And I'm just going to say, one of my films, not number one, love them. But if I remember, the movie was called John Carter, which was based off the book series John Carter from Mars.
I will admit that movie did put me to sleep, despite the fact that it was an amazing looking film. So, I mean, I would be willing to give it another try at some point, but yeah.
Yeah. Just learning that this guy had somehow went from Earth in like the, oh god, I don't even remember what his, it wasn't modern day, it was like maybe 1950s, 18 something. I have no idea. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It's been a long time since I read the book. But I love the fact that he was able to go into space and basically have this massive adventure. But watching the movie take place compared to the book, I mean, they don't look at the big picture as how they were able to bring that to life on the silver screen.
Right.
And just watching that, in my opinion, was absolutely stunning. And then another one of my top 5 favorite movies is Dune, which is currently getting a remake. And I've seen the trailer for the Dune remake, and that just looks absolutely fucking bonkers. It's gonna be a lot
Doom?
more.
You're remaking Doom again?
No, not Dune. Dune.
Oh, Doom. Okay, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
No. They already had a somewhat Doom remake, and that was only on Netflix.
And I was complete and total shit because you didn't have our Doom Slayer.
No.
But yeah,
In both of them, you didn't have Doom Slayer whatsoever. It wasn't
Right.
literally Doom Slayer, it's just, but
right.
still,
I will give the first Doom movie this. That first person, the first person shooter sequence in that movie was bonkers and amazing.
yeah.
Rest of the movie was shit. Alright, go on.
Yeah. In all honesty, I wish they had a lot more than that. So anyway, so another one of my favorite sci-fi movies, and some people probably would agree with me on it. Love the shit.
Your audio cut out as you were saying it.
I loved Steven Spielberg's Gremlins.
Oh my god.
No, I don't know. I love the first one.
Oh, hey, Gag.
Don't get me wrong, the second one was good too, but usually the first movies always get me. Usually, if it's hard.
I mean, yeah, the first Gremlins movie was amazing. The problem with me was that the second one...
It wasn't as captivating as the first.
No. It's not that. It's that there's so many different versions of that movie like, I know there's like many different versions of the second one. With like, there's one with Hulk Hogan. There's another one with that doesn't have him, and a bunch of other stuff going on.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, I would say the second one it was too. One was more sci-fi.
Yeah. That's why I'm sticking with just regular Grimmie.
Yeah, different. I still can't believe they're remaking it.
It's perfectly fine.
Well, they're not really remaking it. They're doing it like a sequel to it.
It's basically like.
Now I'm actually scared.
I'm actually excited for that one. I'm hoping that they at least keep the same kind of atmosphere and how everything was from like the first movie. That would be awesome.
Right.
I mean, most people, if that does happen, most people would be like, yeah, Romans 2 is not the real sequel, this new one is the real sequel.
That's one thing I hate, is that whenever they do come out with sequels, it's like, yeah, we're just gonna retcon the last movie. Like, it happened, you guys are gonna have to deal with it. You can't just say it happened and forget it. I mean, it's one thing I hate about the Terminator franchise. It's like, if you're going to do a sequel, at least do a sequel acknowledging the good stuff from the last few movies. Like, say, look at Terminator Salvation. Everyone hates on that movie, but I love it. It's one of my favorite Terminator movies in the franchise because it's the first one where you actually get to experience what the future is actually like. You know? And it's just.
I hate to interrupt, but the only two things that were good for me in Terminator Salvation was, going and seeing the future and whatnot, but also the fact that you see John Connor basically almost losing and basically nearly dies. And of course, you have the Deus Ex Machina of
Sam Worthington's character.
yeah, with the whole I'm mostly robot, but I have minor human parts to me. So here, just go ahead and take my heart and continue living. There you go. That was definitely an interesting thing too.
I mean,
didn't care much for the rest of Salvation. I just like being able to see the future.
It was at least, but it was at least better than Rise of the Machines.
I think at this point, anything's
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely not Genesis.
Don't bring. The only good thing out of that was the fact that fucking Skynet had took over John Connor's body.
But they ruined that reveal in like the first trailer. It's like.
Yeah, I know, but
It's like, that's the one thing I hate about. I mean, okay, so I'm gonna bring up Godzilla vs. Kong again. I mean, it's been. If you really think about it, from all the footage that we've gotten for Godzilla vs. Kong, I'm not gonna spoil. There is nothing to spoil, really. I mean, trailer is everything you're gonna get, essentially, from anything else. Because, I mean, sure, yes, it's a Godzilla movie with a trailer and everything, but all the footage in that is like, okay, so you get the basic story. It's a perfect trailer, in my opinion. It tells you, okay, so Godzilla's going on a rampage, Godzilla vs. Kong. That's all you really need to know. Action shot, a little bit of exposition, something's going on with Godzilla, a little bit of teases for what's really going on to get you interested, but it makes sure that you know it's going to be a Godzilla versus Kong movie rather than, the shit that they pulled with Batman v Superman.
Oh yeah.
So,
No one cares about that movie anymore.
especially, but anyways, back to topic. It's like
I still have two more.
I know, I know. Back on topic. Go on. All right.
Okay. So I've already gotten to Doom, Gremlin, and
John Connor.
Not Connor, Carter.
Right.
I am gonna have to go and say that I haven't seen the original Planet of the Apes, but I saw the quote-unquote remake of that.
Which one? The Tim Burton one or the Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
No, the Tim Burton one. I've seen the Tim Burton one. A lot of people are just hating for it.
I hate you for it. I hate you for it if you mention it.
The only thing that I liked from that was the design.
Oh yeah, the practical
The design was just beautiful.
the practical effects in that movie were amazing. And it's the only good thing from that movie. I mean, the practical... You cut it out again.
First, you can't just go back and try to capture the first things from the original movies. You can't just go and try to recreate it and have it.
Especially with 4 sequels to the original, as well as 2...
Because people are gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, this isn't as good as how I Planet of the Apes and whatnot." After that, it's just like, oh my god! But with the practical effects that they had at that time, I still liked it a lot.
Right.
But in all honesty, if I didn't like the practical effects of how they did it, I would have to say that it's still the Rise of the Planet of the Apes series on this one now.
Oh yeah, Rise... I mean, I'm a little biased... yes, well, I'm personally a little biased towards that, because I got to see the American premiere, sitting literally like 2 seats away from Andy Serkis when I went to RTX a couple years ago. Same thing with Harrison. We both got to saw it and see it. We didn't get an autograph from Andy, which kind of sucks, but oh well. But yes, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes series is by far the best rendition of the Planet of the Apes since the original. And that's including...
It shows. Oh, hey, it's already established that there's a planet in the base. Took over Earth.
It's like, okay, you don't have time to, like, understand what the hell happened. In either the original or the new. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I understand what they were trying to do. It's, hey, this guy woke up and he's living on a planet filled with apes. Planet of the Apes. And the twist in that movie is amazing. Okay, wow, here's my little brother. Saying hi or whatever. But it's like the original movie's twist is by far one of the greatest twists of all time. Which I'm not gonna ruin in case anyone wants to go back and watch it. But I also appreciate everything they did in the Rise trilogy. Because, I mean, it captivated us all with everything going on with Andy Serkis being... I mean, first of all, it cemented Andy one of the greatest performance capture artists of all time. I mean, sure, Lord of the Rings did that before, but it made sure you knew Andy Serkis was... He deserved everything that he got from that franchise. I mean, those, I mean, I enjoy finding out the backstory of a lot of these stories. Like, I, I'm not a big fan of being just dropped into a world like no idea what the hell's going on. I'm more of a fan of okay, point A to point B to point C, go at point B. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, go on. Go ahead, Joey. Sorry.
It's totally fine. That's what this is entirely for, is to go and talk about what the hell's going on with what we like and
Oh Jesus Christ.
but my
Um,
last one.
Tony, before you go into this, actually, you know what? I'll let you say your last one, but I have two more movies I want to add on my list.
I have a longer list.
I just want, I'll mention a couple of movies after you get done with yours, so go on ahead, because, I mean, we still have to get down to Dad, too, so. And we only have about 35 minutes left, so.
I need to go and say this.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So this actor absolutely hated his role for this movie.
Let me guess, Orson Welles in Transformers 1986.
No. I mean, yeah, that's among my favorite sci-fi movies, but I'm talking about something that's somewhat completely different. Because this film basically made him stop being on film. And that is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Sean Connery, yes.
Sean Connery.
Oh my god. It wasn't the movie, it was the director being a complete and total douche. If I remember correctly.
That's the thing. Well, that and the way that it was directed, the way that the movie was directed was also another key factor because of how the director was acting. If the director didn't act the way that he did and kept everything more, calm and basically unified everyone together appropriately, everything would have been fine. But
Right.
with how the film was directed by the director and how his attitude was, it just made Sean Connery just absolutely quit trying to be a movie star. And it sucks that had happened, but just the visuals and the kind of story that it had going for it at the time, I loved it.
I mean,
Seeing all these, what everyone knows as fictional characters, basically look and act completely different from their actual counterparts from the stories and whatnot. Just blows your mind with how they try teaming up and taking on the big bad of the movie. And I'm not going to explain that. It's also a comic series. If you
Right.
instead, go and check that out.
The way I look at it is just like, it was the movie that the Dark Universe was supposed to set up. Because if you remember, they were going to have like a Dark Universe with Dracula Untold, Frankenstein, and the Mummy, as well as the Invisible Man. But
But Universal kind of changed that up with
A certain movie in their little franchise there, but you can't go and create an actual universe for your movies without having a good, strong link for each movie.
I mean, they tried to do it the DC route, where they just instantly, like, okay, we're having a good movie, which was Dracula Untold, and then we're gonna go into the universe and just throw everything in all at once.
Yeah, which is an absolute failure.
Which, don't get me wrong, I understood what they were trying to do, and in that Mummy movie wasn't as bad as most people say, but I understood why people didn't like it. I liked it, but yeah, that's it. Go on, Joey.
I just want to go and throw in one honorable mention, and hopefully you guys agree, but the movies for Hellboy.
Ron Perlman.
Perlman, Palmer.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm tired. Dude.
Don't worry, don't worry.
I wound up staying up way too late trying to go and get things fixed so I can get my setup done properly, but I managed to crash at like 5 in the morning, so I'm still not 100%. But yeah,
Same.
Ron Perlman as Hellboy. I loved those movies.
I'm
They
gonna.
were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then the quote-unquote sequel reboot was decent.
David Harbour was a good Hellboy. I just think like the movie itself is kind of shit.
The movie itself was definitely lacking compared to the previous movies. And honestly, I hope that they continue making Hellboy movies with him, and hopefully they will get their heads out of their asses and, you know, come up with better stories that people can get behind.
Right. Alright, so we got about 30 minutes left of the podcast. I'm going to go ahead and take this time to mention the 2 movies that I had come up with. First of all, the 2020 Invisible Man remake. I know Dad has seen it. Tony, have you seen it?
I have not seen it yet. I've
Oh.
heard great things about it, though.
It
I've
is.
heard great things about it, but I have yet to take the time to go and find that and watch it.
Take the time to watch it tonight. I know you have HBO Max. It's on there. It's a great ass movie. Believe me, I cannot sing the praises of this movie. This movie made me extremely happy about the way CGI is being used nowadays. It was the last good movie of 2020.
I definitely know I have that plan among the movies that I need to go and watch. I have thousands of movies to catch up on. But if anything, I may or may not be able to make it to the game if I start watching that right after.
I know. I meant like tonight after the games, you know what I meant.
I understand. I'm just goofing around with you.
Alright. And last but not least on my list is a movie called Moon, starring Sam Rockwell. Basically it's about this guy who's up on the moon doing moon things. He's about to come home from the moon because he's about to return home. Only to find out that he has a clone also working on the moon.
So, for all intents and purposes, it's possible that he could be the clone.
Yes, it's a rated R suspense film, but it is Sam Rockwell at probably his finest. I honestly believe that this movie definitely deserves more recognition. I mean, it came out in 2009, it has some decent special effects, but the story itself is amazing. I honestly highly recommend it to anyone who wants to watch any movies. Alright, so we have 29 minutes left on the dot, and we still need to hear Dad's list. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right here, Dad. Only one movie from the Star Wars franchise. That's it. That's the only rule. You can go. There's only one Star Wars movie.
Well, I'm not going to say any Star Wars movie because you already know I'm not.
I just want to make sure that was a rule in the podcast.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not going to mention those. If you had me, you probably would talk.
Right?
But one of the movies that I liked very much was E.T.
E.T., yeah. Yeah.
Another one of Steven Spielberg's great sci-fi movies. I mean, right after the movie came out, the world just gave it Reese's Pieces. So. You could barely find them anywhere. Matter of fact, I think I still might have a little E.T. doll.
I believe you do. It's somewhere in one of my old rooms.
That was probably, I wouldn't say it's the top of my list, but it's up there.
It was a good movie. I mean, obviously dated beyond belief at this time. It definitely deserves to probably be. It's dated. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's dated. I mean, that movie came out in what, 78, 79?
Somewhere back in
At the time, it was the most interesting movie that I've heard of.
Right.
Especially with my grandmother hearing their recount for the entire movie and how their experience was definitely interesting because hearing it secondhand.
Right.
I would have loved to have been born during that time to actually watch it, but unfortunately I'm a 90s kid.
You're both making me feel old.
Sorry, Dad.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, especially Josh.
Anytime you mention Hayden being 13 or Noah being 10, or 11 rather,
No one's left.
it makes me feel old. So I don't want to hear it. I can't imagine how old Grandpa over here feels.
He'll be 77 on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't stand
It-
I'll come into your next movie before we continue rambling out a little bit.
I mean, we have 25 minutes left, so yeah, go ahead, bring it up.
Well, I know you said not to mention these movies, but the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies.
I didn't say not to mention them. I always said I only wanted to say only one movie from each franchise. So yes, I will agree with the J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The first one, I love that. Like, if I ever usually sit there by myself at home, I'll just go and pop that on randomly, listen to it in the background, because I've seen it multiple times now.
Right.
Seeing it the first few times, especially the fact that I've seen it too.
I remember going to see it in theaters with Dad, actually. One of many that he's taken me to. It just reminds me how good J.J. Abrams can be when he has a hand on franchise that he doesn't have to report to some bitch in order to make the movie he wants to make. Yeah.
I mean, I know you never compared it to the original
I mean, she's been producing like movies for Steven Spielberg and George Lucas since George Lucas made American Graffiti. If I remember correctly, she produced Jaws and early films for Steven Spielberg too. So.
Well, when she first got into the movie business, she was working at school.
Right.
And Spielberg recommended her to George Lucas. And Lucas said, okay. He first did his first few movies. She was okay with it.
Right, and then,
She took over, she wanted to do it her.
and then you got Frank Marshall, her husband, who's been there too, but we don't talk about him because apparently he doesn't have a say in what's going on in these movies anymore.
Yeah.
But let's not turn this into another Star Wars podcast. Otherwise, we're gonna go for another 2 hours, and we're gonna be late to the Hunger Games.
Yes. Well, there you go.
Cancel it.
Shut up. We've canceled it for the last 2 weeks. We're doing it tonight. Pog.
No, another movie that I really liked was the Abyss.
Oh, yeah. Didn't James Cameron do that one? It was the one he did
Yes,
right
he did.
before Terminator 2.
Yeah, he did the Abyss first. That's one of his first movies that really got him going. I mean, just the,
missed out on that one, sadly.
you need to see it.
I haven't seen it in years. I'm probably gonna go back and watch it tonight, actually. Cause it was a really good movie when I watched it.
Yes, it is.
I just haven't
Just
seen it in years.
All the underwater scenes are just.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
See,
especially when he does his you know.
uh-huh. Not to mention all the alien scenes coming out of the water and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I have another topic for the next podcast for us.
What's it?
Worst movies in our opinions.
Sharknado.
I knew you were gonna say one.
I love it, but it's so terrible.
Oh no, there's been quite a few.
Oh, we can go for hours talking about that. Yeah, I think next week will be great for that topic. It'll give us a whole week to come up with like an entire spreadsheet document of like the worst sci-fi movies of all time. It's gonna start with Sharknado. It's gonna end with the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Which one? Which one or the old one?
The original.
The original. Oh yeah. That was probably
The new one is okay because it's made out of like
Right.
it's more towards the little young ones, but
I would say probably the best thing about the original holiday series was probably the introduction of Bumblebee.
yeah, that was
Other
the
than that-
first time if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Other than that, no. The whole other series was just, I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm sure there's probably people out there somewhere who really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, there probably are. Alright, so you had said what, 2, 3 now? I
Trying
think
to
you might
think.
have.
I don't know if you really classify this as sci-fi, but probably the Ghostbusters series.
I mean, it kind of is sci-fi with how it is, but it's also more of a comedy rather than sci-fi.
Yeah.
Well, the
This one
second,
is kind
the
kinda
second
off.
one's more comedy compared to the first, though.
yeah. Are we just doing movies, or are we doing TV series too?
He said movies so far, but I've kind of brought up the idea of doing at least TV series, video games, and books.
Mm.
But apparently it didn't bite the first time.
Yeah.
But I got my A Sound of Thunder out. Loved that book / movie. But it's more of a short story than book, but still, it was in a small little paperback when I was in high school.
Yeah. I had to miss part of it, so.
Mm.
You know, a pretty decent movie that I saw was After Earth with Will Smith.
Oh,
It's
I've
about
heard that thing.
It may have flopped, but it was actually a pretty decent movie. I mean, things like John Carter,
Yeah.
it was a lot more better than that. I'd even say it was probably better than War of the Worlds. But
Well, if you're talking about the movie War of the Worlds, yeah, it's way better than that. But if you're talking about the radio broadcast, if we were around during that time, it probably
around during that time, maybe Grandpa.
probably.
I mean, it was back in the 40s and 50s.
I believe so. Oh, there is one that I want to go and throw in another one. Um, the Day the Earth Stood Still.
The original or remake?
Oh, the original. I mean, yeah, the remake was pretty good for what it was, especially with the fact that they had CGI and whatnot. But I was able to go back and find the original and watch that. And I was astounded with how they had things for that time.
Yeah. Alright. The other ones that I really want to probably be my last one was the Matrix series.
Oh, yeah.
The original ones, yes.
Okay. I was about to say, are you talking about the Animatrix, or are you going to talk about the new one that's continuing, that's like Matrix 4?
Yeah, the Matrix with Callon, was the originals.
Yeah.
The 1999 movie.
Yeah.
That one I like very well. It explains a lot of what's going on today.
Surprisingly, it is. Like,
Jason? Hey man, you just talking about sex here. Oh, come on.
it's like, it's going exactly the same way that we got planned. It's like, oh, no, thank you. I'll continue this round.
The thing is, the thing is with I loved the first Matrix movie. I couldn't get through the second or third. I mean, it's not me saying like they're inherently bad. It's just I just couldn't stay interested with the second and third one.
I'd say the third one's really better than the second one. Because he does a lot more. The second one just really didn't make sense.
I mean, then the second one started out with.
Him as much, though, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, it was more of everybody else.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely more of everyone else. Was it one of the first scenes in the second one after Neo goes all full Super Saiyan on all these guys? Wasn't one of them a gigantic orgy with all the underground people or something?
That was the third one.
Third one? Jesus Christ. I'll throw in one more on my list because I mean I have plenty. I'm gonna throw in Bumblebee. And guys, only I didn't want to mention it. I didn't want to mention it because I mean it's a Transformers movie, but I mean it's also the best Transformers movie. I would say it was probably on par with the '86 film, as good as it was.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I'm trying to abstain from Transformers because, I mean, even I know that those movies weren't the best. I mean, it's Transformers. I mean, they haven't really had a good movie to begin with in a while, so.
The only good movie that they had was the very first one.
No, 07 film was easily the good one. I still personally liked Revenge of the Fallen despite all of its drawbacks. And that's only because, I mean, the movie was cool. It didn't really hold too much back, but I still think that maybe Michael Bay wasn't the best choice for a for a Transformers movie.
At least it didn't put me to sleep like Dark of the Moon.
And Dark of the Moon is considered the best in the franchise.
I don't know. I mean, it just. I think they went from the first to the second and skipped too much.
I don't think it.
A whole bunch that they could have easily put in and made it a lot more interesting, but just no.
And then even going to the third, they're skipping way too much they could do.
But, I mean, there's only so much they can do with what they have. I mean, everyone knows how long it would take for a computer to render just a single frame of an Autobot, of like Optimus or whatnot. Because if I remember correctly, it took 48 hours for a single frame to render uh, in Transformers 1 or something like that. I don't know.
Well,
But,
nowadays, most computers are even stronger than what we had for Transformers.
right, and,
Things are rendering a lot faster, coming up a lot smoother, and
mm,
that's what I'm hoping for with the quote-unquote continuation
I know
prequel.
that the next one that they're working on is going to be called Beast Wars Alliance or something. It's gonna take place in the 90s, but it's gonna have like Beast Wars characters. It's gonna be like a Fast and Furious heist film.
The 90s?
Yeah,
Oh god. Yeah, no, I'm dropping it. I can't even go with that.
but this is all rumors at the moment. I don't know what the hell is going on. Don't knock it until you see it. I think it'd be an interesting idea to see like Beast Formers mixed in with actual Transformers as a sequel to Bumblebee. But I'm also on the fence about it. I'd rather see a Beast Wars movie that actually takes place in the past.
Yeah. And I mean, like, actual past, before human beings were around.
Well, human beings were around in the 90s. I mean, there were human beings in the 90s in Beast
No,
Wars.
I'm talking about in the past, like, actual, like, Beast Wars.
Right.
Because all it was all the creatures of the times, dinosaurs, gorillas, stuff like that. No human being whatsoever.
Right.
That's what it was. I want to see something like that. And if they did get into going from the past to like the kind of past, but more futuristic stuff, like if they did the 90s things, I would gladly let them do it if they involved a mess up with like a space bridge.
I mean, Space Bridge.
Yeah, space bridge is what I'm gonna say.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Transformers has always been a good franchise. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with the next one. You know, I'm always gonna be there if they release a new new Transformers movie. Same thing with that. It's gonna be there if they release a new Star Wars movie. Same thing with me and Godzilla and everything like that. So, I mean, we got that. We have about 10 minutes remaining, so let's move on from the Transformers topic. And if you guys want to mention anything else, here's your opportunity.
I do have one more review. And I don't really care for the guy a whole lot. But to me, it's my
Oh, yes.
Oh. Over and over in time.
After tomorrow.
I actually like the manga version.
Yeah, I mean, the movie was based off of manga. In my opinion, it's probably the best manga to film adaptation. But
I mean,
it,
sure they didn't keep the same title as the manga, but still, just keeping the same concept and keeping almost the exact same characters in line with that was absolutely fantastic.
again, they're also thinking about doing a sequel prequel thing. So I don't know what their plan is. I'm excited for it. Emily Blunt was amazing. Tom Cruise is a douche, but Tom Cruise anyway. So, yeah. Yeah, you really can't. Heaven forbid he ever comes over to the MCU.
Oh, if he comes to the MCU, I hope he's a character that gets killed off.
Tom Cruise
I mean,
does not age.
I liked him in like the first few Mission Impossible movies, and
I mean, Ghost Protocol wasn't that bad.
yeah, but it was kind of just, it was lackluster for me. For me, it was pretty lackluster.
I will always say Top Gun and Days of Thunder are gonna be great Tom Cruise films. I'm hesitant but intrigued by the Top Gun sequel that they're doing. So I'll probably go see that when it comes out, but no, it's not out. If it's out, we would have known. Yeah, I'm positive.
Well,
Was it?
I've already seen videos on YouTube about people going and talking with pilots, talking about scenes from the movie already. So I'm confused as to why. Because it seems like they've already gone and seen it, in my opinion, when I've gone and watched people talk about it. Because it's only like short clips and it's not like the full thing.
Right.
They're like, oh, if you want to watch the full video is still on my channel, so you gotta subscribe. And it's like, come on.
It's coming out on July 2nd.
What movie?
Top Gun Maverick.
Maverick.
The second one.
It has come out overseas.
It has?
Okay.
Yes. They had sneak of it overseas.
That's probably why some people have already gone and been able to see it, especially with like actual U.S. fighter pilots that are in our Air Force.
Doesn't say anything here that was released overseas. Whatever.
It wasn't a national broadcast thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm so intrigued to see it. But yeah. Any other movies, Tony, you want to talk about? We got about 5 minutes left. Well, 6 minutes left.
I don't want to talk about a movie, but a TV show franchise series. That
Okay.
I've been for years.
I swear to God, we should. Okay, I was gonna say, if you take Power Rangers, I'm just gonna boot you out of this call.
Power Rangers.
This is fun.
I mean, yes, but.
It's also sci-fi, technically.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, that
Yeah.
technically wouldn't be wrong, you know. But Doctor Who as a whole.
Question.
Up until the latest Doctor. I mean, the female Doctor. No, I don't hate the actress who plays as her. But the fact that the writers have been trying to do the whole go with the times nowadays with the SJW stuff.
Right.
It kind of ruins the story, but the story itself for hers is pretty decent for the times. A lot of people hate it.
Right.
I don't. I like the fact that she's trying her hardest to make the character. But everyone up to her has to be really fantastic. David Tennant, I've already forgotten his last name. Matt Smith. Matt Smith. Those are the top main doctors that everyone knows. But everyone in general plays the Doctor in their own way absolutely fantastically. And I love that.
Right.
I love that franchise. Especially with the wiggly wobbly timey-wimey stuff.
Would you consider Dragon Ball Z sci-fi or some?
No. I mean, in a sense, it is sci-fi anime based, but it's not sci-fi.
Right.
It's more fantasy. And that's what people forget. There are actual things that are specifically labeled as fantasy instead of sci-fi.
Like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Well, we got about 3 minutes remaining in the podcast, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out Spotify here. What? What? That's fair.
Well, I'm trying to get Minecraft to the computer.
Oh. Okay. But yeah.
His words were, please wait, don't start yet until everything's set.
I mean, everything is really set up. Command blocks are just broken beyond belief right now on Bedrock. I'm not even gonna mess with them until a new patch comes out for that. But, so we're, I mean, they're already working on the next 1.17 patch for Minecraft, which will be like the Caves and Cliffs update, which is gonna be an amazing update to begin with, so, That's coming out later this year. Anyways, we got about 2 minutes left. I'm gonna take this time to go ahead and say thank you to all the people who have supported us on Facebook and Twitter. All of the 3 of you. I know I got the YouTube thing going. As far as my personal streaming schedule, I know Tony's getting his streaming setup worked on himself, so he might be streaming along with us here soon.
I don't have a specific schedule at the moment.
Right.
I am an anarchist.
I do have a specific streaming schedule. Tonight, of course, as you can see on the screen right now, we will be doing the DSC-CMP Hunger Games. The live stream begins around 7:30. As for the 2 of you, I need you both at least in the realm at 7:15 at earliest. I mean, at latest. I need you both in 15 minutes before the, at least 15 minutes before, the stream begins. Got it? I'm also gonna say that, we're gonna be doing the game through, we're gonna be doing a voice chat through Discord, so I can help control it and everything, so I can mute you guys and actually say everything I need to say in the beginning of the stream. We're gonna have at minimum 5 people in this these games. So we got that. Let's see. Tomorrow is gonna be another Jackbox stream. Tomorrow night's gonna be a Jackbox stream starting around 6:30 p.m. So right. Sweetness. Let's see. I'm gonna be off streaming on Tuesday and Wednesday. I will be back on Thursday and Friday with a couple of Siege streams. And I'm gonna be off on Saturday, but next Sunday will be DSC-CAST number 18. So, yeah, not 18, number 9. I'm sorry, I don't know why I doubled that. But probably. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say you 2 are free to go. That's gonna be the end of today's stream. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to me on Twitch at Callon4968. Subscribe to the DSC-CastLIVE YouTube channel, where we post all the vlogs from the DSC-Cast, all live on stream. Subscribe to Tony on Twitch at lan626, twitch.tv/lan, LAN626. And please come join us tonight for tonight's live stream of the DSC-CMP Hunger Games. I will see you all at 7:30 p.m. Thank you guys so much for joining me on today's podcast, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night.